Hidden deep in a valley in Kurdistan, northern Iraq, a cluster of buildings. This is a holy place. For centuries, the chief shrine of a tightly knit religious sect, the Yazidis. Story has it that the place was sacred even before that, but the origins of the Holy Valley are shrouded in the mists of time. One thing is certain. The founder of the Yazidi religion, Sheikh Adi, came here sometime in the 12th century and made this the center of his spiritual domain. It is Sheikh Adi's tomb, set directly beneath the spire of the temple, that forms the focal point of these sacred sites. Around the temple, a jumble of dwellings nestles into the slopes of the surrounding hillside. Narrow cobbled streets, open plazas, and the smooth arches of covered walkways thread the whole together. For most of the year, the streets are empty, but the valley of Sheikh Adi is not forgotten. Once, 1 million people looked to Sheikh Adi as their spiritual leader. Today, the Yazidis number only 50,000. And with their ancient homeland, Kurdistan, divided between Syria, Iran, Turkey, Russia, and Iraq, only the 20,000 Yazidis who live within the borders of Iraq have ready access to this shrine. Several times a year, they come in pilgrimage. The valley's permanent population is small. A family of fakirs, a priestly caste, acting as caretakers, 3 temple priestesses, and Dissen, the Baba Jawush, guardian of the temple of Sheikh Adi. They watch and wait till the believers come again to pay homage to their twin deities, God and Devil. The pilgrimage and the paths into the valley are thronged with pilgrims, rifles ever present, coming in their hundreds, walking barefoot over this sacred ground. Soon, the entire valley bustles with life. 10 days of ceremonies lie ahead, and around the temple, the women folk busy themselves with the myriad chores of settling in their family groups. The Baba Jawush, as host to the pilgrims, comes out to greet his flock and to welcome them to the shrine. He alone has the authority to lead the faithful into the tomb of Sheikh Adi deep within the temple crypt. is not long before the dancing begins, part religious ceremony, partly entertainment. Provided by the Kawals, a special clan among the Yazidis. Professional music makers, they pass on their art within their own group, maintaining their special role from generation to generation. The coins then represent a kind of religious offering as well. Between festivals, the Kawals may tour the Yazidi villages, but they live all together, a kind of medieval guild of musicians in two special litters. So the traditions are preserved and passed on. Within the community of the dance, the individual Yazidi discovers the wellspring of his own faith, the sense of belonging, of being part of the religious mysteries in which this place is steeped. Was there not a time when the Yazidis seemed set to bring the whole of northern Mesopotamia under their sway? But today, the echoes of past glories grow faint. The ordinary people follow blindly the rituals which are holy. Now the ceremonial will begin in earnest with the arrival of the head of the Yazidi sect, direct successor of Sheikh Adi, known as the Baba Chek. Through the crowd comes the Baba Chek retinue. At the rear, one carries in a sack the statuette of the sacred peacock. For surely it was as the beautiful peacock, king of birds, and not as a serpent, that the devil tempted Eve. The dignitaries withdraw into the temple as preparations are made for the first ceremony. The great courtyard of the temple thronged, the crowd in a gay mood. Suddenly, out into their midst rushes a calf. The crowd quickly take up the chase. It is soon over. Sacrifice has been made with the spilling of blood. Later, the flesh of the sacrificial offering will be distributed among the families of the sheikhs and the fakirs. The sacrifice over, the pilgrims go through a ritual of decorating their headdresses with leaves and twigs broken from a grove of sacred trees. The kawals and even their musical instruments are also venerated as they accompany the sacred relic, as this procession is repeated throughout the valley over the following days. By dawn of the 8th day, the religious element is much less evident. The dancing has spread out throughout the valley, with music provided now not by the kawals, but by ordinary performers. The Yazidis' social life is very restricted. They may marry only within their own sect, and no one from outside may become a convert. Obviously, then, the pilgrimage offers a rare occasion for these people coming from their isolated village communities to meet and mix and perhaps find a marriage partner. As the pilgrimage reaches its final stages, the dancing goes on night and day until finally the time runs out. After 10 days, the silence again settles